So hey y'all, I'm back with another video. So tonight's video is yet again another Cheave'S Chats video on camera edition. Y'all already know what we're gonna do. We're gonna cue that music. Cue it! Cheave'S Chats. Cheave'S Chats. Cheave'S Chats. Cheave'S Chats. Cheave'S Chats. Hey, Cheave'S Chats. Cheave'S Chats. Cheave'S Chats. Hey, Cheave'S Chats. Hey, Cheave'S Chats. Hey, Cheave'S Chats. Cheave'S Chats. Hey. So tonight we're gonna be doing a compilation video of some very viral trending hot topics. Of course, I'm late on everything per usual. Y'all know I just been having a tough time like mentally, and that's why I just kind of feel like you gotta take time to have breaks. Like I've been having burnout with the whole like YouTube social commentary thing. I don't necessarily like talking about celebrities, but I feel like I have so much more range in other creative aspects, so that's why I've gotten into drawing. Y'all have been seeing a lot of my art that I'm posting on my community tab, and it just started off as something for my boyfriend and I to do. We had like an in-house date night where we decided to paint, and then after that I was like, well, why don't we just kind of tap into this, because he's really good at art, he's really into art. He kind of made me realize like I can develop that skill, and so I've just been drawing ever since then. So thank you guys for supporting the artwork, and there's just other things that I try to do outside of YouTube to keep my creative juices flowing and try to get on camera and produce some content for y'all. So on the docket tonight, we're going to be talking about how Zeus Network and the Baddies show is going to Africa. I could not believe the headlines when I saw this, because although Zeus never seems to surprise me with the debauchery and the ratchetness, how dare y'all bring something like that to Africa? But at the same time, I was like, okay, there's people in Africa that watch Baddies and watch Zeus Network shows. You're going to find people that want to do it. So we're going to get into that. Also, Instagram influencer and business entrepreneur Jayda Cheaves, she went viral for her inappropriate outfit at church. Now, I'm a churchgoer. I grew up Catholic, and I feel like a lot of times with this whole like Christian girl aesthetic thing that I see going viral, like have y'all noticed that there's a Christian or faith girl aesthetic that's a thing? And a lot of people feed into that, but there's a way that it's been kind of warped in 2025 that shows that a lot of people are going to church for the aesthetic, or maybe sometimes they're going for the right reasons, but they don't know how to separate a time and a place. And lastly, I wanted to talk about the TikTok ban. I'm not really on TikTok like that, and I've been trying to post more on there. And I know TikTok has such an organic algorithm that I should have been on TikTok. However, there was this whole thing with the whole TikTok ban and how our new president Donald Trump played a role into that, and then people's reactions to the whole thing with TikTok and just basically everything that happened. I was going to talk about it earlier when it was happening live, but I wanted everything to come and go for me to just formulate my opinions on it. So y'all know what to do. Label your stories story number 1, 2, or 3. You can comment on one or all. I'll be sure to read every comment. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. So let's start off with the TikTok ban. Honestly, I don't have much to say, which y'all think I would, but again, I'm not on TikTok that much, but I am like a human being who utilizes all social media. I make money from social media. It's my main way of making money. I see how TikTok can be a career and a profession for people, and I did not understand how political it would be until I really started thinking outside the box on how TikTok really has influenced a lot of the world. America has a lot of TikTok users. I think they said like over 100 million users are American on TikTok, and although it is owned by the Byte company, which is a Chinese-based company, America does have a lot of influence on TikTok. We've seen a lot of TikTok creators over the years, from Keith Lee to most recently Cooking with Kaya, in like these Black or urban spaces. But there are so many people that just took off on TikTok. The algorithm favored them, and they've become like celebrities in their own right, like social media celebrities or just influencers or content creators. And people are making a living off of TikTok the same way I'm making a living off of YouTube. Something tells me that I might make more on TikTok. I don't know. It's short form content. It's straight up and down vertical. I can probably push them out faster, but this is my home and I've built my platform on here. So when I saw a lot of people upset about the ban and how this was going to affect them financially and economically, I was not one of them people that was like, oh, why y'all crying over an app? Because if they said they were going to shut down YouTube, you better believe I would be so upset, because you work and you build your platform, hundreds of thousands of people who tune into you, and for somebody or something, an entity, to take that away, of course it would be really sad. So there was a headline that I saw, and it said the information report that TikTok plans to shut down immediately in the US on Sunday once the ban takes effect. It says the app won't work even if it's already installed, and users will be redirected to a website providing details about the ban. Then it says TikTok plans to shut its app for US users from Sunday, when a federal ban on the social media app could come into effect unless the Supreme Court moves to block it, sources familiar with the matter said. The outcome of the shutdown would be different from that mandated by the law. The law would mandate a ban only on new TikTok TikTok downloads on Apple or Google app stores, while existing users can continue to use it for some time. Under TikTok's plan, people attempting to open the app will see a pop-up message directing them to a website with information about the ban, the sources said, requesting anonymity as the matter is not public. TikTok also plans to give users the option to download all their data so that they can take a record of their personal, they said. TikTok and its Chinese parent ByteDance did not immediately respond to Reuters' request for comment. Now, this was all good and all, but then all of a sudden we were back on TikTok the same day that Trump was inaugurated into office. And the crazy part is they took TikTok down, like literally they said it was going to be on Sunday, January 19th. And we were thinking like, okay, we have until 11:59 p.m. And no, it was pretty much down even before then. So it was like Saturday night for most people. I know mine went out. I went to check and I'm like, yeah, it's not working anymore. And the thing is, I could still like get on the app and see certain videos, but only like 2 or 3 would load. And then I couldn't like comment. I couldn't share. I couldn't like refresh, nothing. So when you had logged onto the app, everyone got the same message. It has said, important update from TikTok. We regret that a US law banning TikTok will take effect on January 19th and force us to make our services temporarily unavailable. We're working to restore our service in the US as soon as possible, and we appreciate your support. Please stay tuned. Then all of a sudden, when it was like being worked on or whatever, it said that, sorry, TikTok isn't available right now. A law banning TikTok has been enacted in the US. Unfortunately, that means you can't use TikTok for now. We are fortunate that President Trump has indicated that he will work with us on a solution to reinstate TikTok once he takes office. Please stay tuned. Then after that, it then said, welcome back. Thanks for your patience and support. As a result of President Trump's effort, TikTok is back in the US. You can continue to create, share, and discover all the things you love on TikTok. Now, this is where things got finicky because everyone then started to see like, okay, I think this was a ploy for people to see Trump as a savior of TikTok. And you may be thinking like, why would anybody care about saving a social media app? But it is a means for employment for people. It is a means for entertainment. And TikTok does have a lot of influence over not just Americans, but globally. And this to me was just all kind of like something being done politically and financially because America is a very greedy nation. Sometimes I feel like us Americans don't realize that outside of America, like people still exist and live a happily ever after life. But with America actually having this very authoritative and greedy and very kind of like egotistical approach to every other country in the world, we always want something that maybe doesn't even belong to us. You can look at it as ancestral people coming to America, seeing that there's already people here, there's land here, it's claimed, and taking it and saying it's theirs. It's the same thing with TikTok. TikTok makes billions of dollars a year and America wanted a piece of that pie. This is all a business decision, and I kind of find it interesting because Trump to me is a very business oriented man. He's a business oriented president and he's going to run America like a business, in my opinion, like he did before. But I'm interested to see what's going to come next, and there still has to be dealings. TikTok being reinstated may not even be permanent. This might just be an elongated delay of a possible ban to come. And so there's still things that need to happen before we can finally say TikTok is back. So moving on to our next story, it is about influencer and business entrepreneur Jayda Cheaves and her going viral for the outfit that she wore to church. Now, my thing with the whole church thing that I see a lot is being a Christian girly and being a, faith girly has become an aesthetic. I don't think it's wrong to be upright and putting religion at the forefront of maybe your content, your channel, your influence, or just a regular social media user. Oftentimes I refer to things in the Bible on this channel. Oftentimes I let people know like, hey, I do go to church. I grew up Catholic. However, I feel like a relationship with God is very intimate, which is why I'm not going to get on here and just put a scripture in every video and use God and Christianity to basically run my platform. Because in a sense, I'm doing gossip and drama and scandal and opinions, and sometimes I'm getting harsh. I don't want my relationship with God that I believe is intimate to be intertwined with something that I'm not going to say YouTube or what I do is ungodly, but y'all can see like the downside of it and where it can be a little bit finicky. So I just kind of leave that separate, but I do throw in tidbits. But I have noticed, especially on TikTok, a lot of women nowadays, these girls, they love to throw in this whole like Christian scripture and just being like super religious all of a sudden. And if you just found God, great. I love that. People will find God in different eras of their life. However, when I see influencers kind of turn towards religion, I always give it the side eye. So I'm not saying that Jayda Cheaves was not religious or not a Christian before this, but I feel like when you try to intertwine what you do as your brand, your job, and everything thing, and religion, such as going to church or just being faithful, sometimes it just doesn't work, which is why her outfit was inappropriate. So this is her outfit here on the screen, and this is what people were up in arms about. And there was some Twitter comments about this. Someone said, "I don't care, Jayda's outfit was not appropriate for church, and if you think differently, you weird. That skirt was way too small, especially with it being cold AF outside. Stockings or not, I wouldn't have worn nothing like that to church." Then she said, "Y'all deride Jayda so bad because that's y'all internet fave, but would literally say the same thing if it was somebody else. That's why I can't take y'all fans seriously. Y'all know she wrong, and if you don't, I blame the older women in y'all family." Now, I feel like the outfit is cute, but I do feel like it's not a church appropriate outfit. And there was a lot of people trying to use the word "come as you are." I hate when things get misinterpreted. That's why I just keep the religious aspect out of it, because I will never sit here in front and say, like, I can reference this scripture, this line, this chapter, this book. I can't, you know what I'm saying? I go to Bible study every week, honestly, like twice a week. However, I'm still in that process of learning. But I will be honest, when God said "come as you are," he didn't mean come with anything that's inappropriate for church. He didn't say enter his house looking scandalous. He didn't say, hey, you can come here and just wear whatever you want, even though you're in my presence. Even if you have nothing, even if all you have is this tattered skirt, or even if you have just a t-shirt and hoodie and jeans, come as you are. If that's all you have. I think that's the part that's silent that people aren't getting. If that's all you have, come as you are. At the end of the day, I don't think most pastors or priests really care what people wear. They just want you to come get the word. And I think that's what's most important. Just go and get your word and take it for what it is. But I do think that your appeal and your approach to what you're wearing to church should matter. I mean, you wouldn't go to certain places wearing certain things, and there's a time and place for everything. The one thing I didn't like though is people saying like, oh, this is why I don't come to church because people are so judgmental. I promise you that is not a church thing. That is a person thing. There's a lot of people that get turned off with religion because they're like, well, people judge here and all Christians are like this, all Catholics are like this. And in reality, that's not the case. Sometimes you have to treat a church the same way that you would treat a job or maybe a college visit. You have to go there, see if you like it, see if you like the people, get a feel for it so that you know that church and that place and that parish is for you. Don't just blindly go into a church and use every church to label everybody. There's differences in every church. And I think not only was the outfit inappropriate and there's a time and place for everything, but you just have to go where you're celebrated in everything in life. And honestly, sometimes that can include church. Now, our third and final story is Zeus Network and the show Baddies traveling to Africa. They just released their promo announcing that they are doing Baddies Africa. This to me is mind-boggling, but at the same time, like, I can't be shocked at anything that Zeus is doing because they understand their market. They know that as long as ratchetness, debauchery, toxicness, and ghetto or rowdy or just unruly women exist in certain areas anywhere in the world, they have a market where they can go and keep going on this tour of spreading this very detrimental view of women, especially young Black women. And I think going to Africa, people are up in arms about it because people think of Africa and the motherland as peaceful and upbeat and prideful and maybe some of the better representations of Black cultures. And I know it's kind of like hard to say that or weird to say that because let's not act like there isn't corruption in a lot of these nations. People will literally tell me like, oh, why don't you talk about like Nigerian pop culture or Nigerian this? I'm just like, I pay attention to some of it, but I live in America. However, a lot of times when I'm watching Nigerian news, which I watch every day, it just seems like a lot of government corruption a lot of times and just like greed and things that I don't even want to get into. However, I do report on what I can. But that notwithstanding, going to Africa to me just seems like very tone deaf in a way where they don't understand that they're literally not going to get the same response in certain areas of the world that you will where you live at. I mean, you can go to Chicago or Detroit or Philly or Baltimore or wherever, and you're going to find people that are ready to go on the Baddie show. Hey, there's a girl that used to work for me and model for me and we were cool in college. She just got casted for the Baddie show. And I'm just like, oh, okay, well, do you, girl. I'm happy for you. I feel like they should have chose you. So you'll always find those people. And I'm not saying you won't find it in Africa, but I feel like the connotation of Africa is a little bit different. And we're speaking about the whole entire continent. So let's check out this preview that they posted announcing Baddies in Africa.
takeover continues. Baddies Africa.
Okay, enough of that. I know that there's a market for it everywhere. I think people are a little bit repulsed by the idea because they see Africa as like an untouchable land when you're talking about things like Baddies and Zeus Network. One of the craziest things to me about this is how Natalie Nunn has like basically researched her career to be like this top dog in this reality television world or the streaming world. She was Natalie Nunn back in the day, but then she wasn't as popular as she is now. She's kind of brought it back. Natalie was someone who came on the show Bad Girls Club, and she was clearly colorist. She clearly was racist. She didn't like black people.
You're gonna get the ghetto black bitch, and she's gonna punk you all the time. Too black. Her nose looks like a gorilla nose. I'm Puerto Rican, Brazilian, and black. I grew up around like white kids, and so dark-skinned girls never seem to like me.
She made sure to let that be known. Now, all of a sudden, she's this gangster. She's always around these black girls. She's always in these black spaces. And then you're gonna go to the blackest place on earth? Africa? I don't know. Natalie seems to just be playing in a lot of people's faces, and to me it's crazy how she can go from that and still have this run. I thought Baddies was going to be done by season 5. I have not even watched this season. I think I watched like the auditions. I didn't even watch all the auditions for the Midwest, but I think I watched the first 2 or 3 episodes of Midwest, and I'm like, I just really can't do it. I cannot do it. Now they have Midwest. They done been to the North. They done been to the South. They done been to the East. They done been everywhere, and they've also been to the Caribbean. So I think the only thing up next for them was to go to Africa, and I don't know where they're going to go next. I mean, is it going to be Baddies Asia? Who is even allowing them to come to these clubs and these establishments and do all of this? Like, I get some of it is not necessarily fake or scripted in the sense where every line is fed to them, but everything's kind of situational. So I don't know how they're able to do this, but because of their pool and because of their popularity, I do see places in Nigeria that will allow them to come and host because they probably do appeal to a certain market out there. The last thing I'm going to say that I really don't like about this is honestly the same thing I could say whether it's Baddies Africa or Baddies Antarctica. The fact that they keep bringing back the same people and I don't want to see them anymore just really irritates me. Let me see if I can find where they announced that they're bringing back the same individuals. So just looking at some of the things that they posted on their Instagram page, it says the Baddies are taking over Africa soon. But first we got auditions in Atlanta. Who's showing up and showing out for their spot? If I was going to be in Atlanta on January 31st, I swear I would go to them auditions just to vlog it and show y'all. I don't even want to go in. I just want to stand outside and like literally interview people like, why are you auditioning? Do you think you're better than this? What's your goals in life? And just get the vibe. I feel like Baddies auditions are like an energy harvesting thing because every single time I watch them, I'm like, there's just no way that people keep showing up for this time and time again. So I don't even want to enter the building. But unfortunately, I'm not going to be in ATL during that time. But if I was, I do get why they went to Atlanta because Atlanta does have a lot of Africans. But I kind of feel like they're going to say Baddies Africa and then not even pick that many African girls. I mean, when they had Baddies Caribbean, they only had one Caribbean girl that was on the cast. Everybody else was a baby mama to this person or somebody that showed their titties or somebody that used to know Natalie or somebody that to me is being escorted by them. Just saying. I feel like if they're going to do Baddies Africa, they're going to have to do it right, which there's no way for them to do it right. So it's just going to be interesting. This may be the end of Baddies if they do this because people aren't going to play with disrespectful culture. You know how sentimental Africans can be. Hell, I'll be telling you all the time, I've covered these stories. You know how sentimental Africans are about their culture. So if they come and they do this, and it's probably not going to air until like the summertime or maybe sometime in the fall, this could literally be the end all be all for Baddies on Zeus Network. But again, as always, we shall see. So that is it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Please let me know your commentary on my commentary down below. What do you think? What do you know? Let me know. If y'all haven't already, subscribe. Okay, I don't have anything to promote, but if y'all haven't already, go ahead and subscribe for me. Hit the like button and share the video. I mean, just liking and subscribing and especially liking the video, like gets the video to be promoted into the algorithm. And y'all know YouTube has been messing with me, so I would appreciate it if you like the video. And as always, don't forget to follow me on all of my social media networks, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye, y'all.
Ma pelle, mademoiselle, I'm on du caramel. You got my spinning like a carousel. Can you tell? Oh, you so professional, smooth like a criminal. Passenger princess, always treat me like Cinderella. Yeah, call me Bella, say I look Stella. Tu me fais bêta, ils sont jealous. Des mon père from my left side. J'ai regardé, je ne vois pas no other man. Number one, Papa, you know you're my only one. 2 times 2, by me everything under the sun. Toi, c'est moi, bisous on my body, love that. Yeah, we had tough times, can we rise above that? Your smile's my weakness, your body give me releases. You do my day be increasing, then you bless me like sneezes. I could write a whole thesis when I give you the